As another year is coming to a close, you know someone had to try and cash in on the Christmas spirit. This is the third Christmas game that I've reviewed. And it's funny, I've played one great Christmas game, We Wish You a Merry Christmas, and one terrible one called Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. So I figured the law of averages, this one probably is going to be okay. But it didn't help my hopes for a good game when I saw this was made by Red Wagon, the one who just made that previous terrible Rudolph game. So is their newest game a great present to us gamers? Or did they leave us with another lump of coal? Santa Claus is Coming to Town is a video game version of the famous Rankin and Bass stop-motion movie from the 70s. Rankin and Bass is the name of the two men responsible for producing these stop-motion movies. And the most famous, of course, is Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Now, Santa Claus is Coming to Town is the story of the origin of Santa Claus from his humble beginnings. It tells the story of Kris Kringle wanting to make the kids happy in his town by making toys. However, Meisterburger Burgermeister gets angry when he trips over a toy and makes them illegal. Undeterred, Kris keeps making toys and finds ways to deliver them to the kids of the town. Now, unlike Rudolph, this is not just some mini-game collection, but an actual game. In fact, it's a platformer. An incredibly simple one, but it's a platformer. The controls are very easy for kids to learn. All you have to do is jump and throw presents. Now, you might think that you attack enemies with the presents, but you don't. You chuck them at the kids you see while passing through the levels. It was very disturbing to see Kris Kringle literally pulling presents out of his butt. However, there is no other way to describe it, because that's exactly where these presents are coming from.
Well, Merry Christmas, kids! Here you go, little Johnny. Here's a baseball. And little Mary. Here's a dolly. And Thomas, that Nintendo Wii you asked for? It's gonna take me a little bit more time to get to it. Ho ho! Mrs. Claus, can you get me my special chocolate? I think I might need some help.
Oh, sure thing, Papa.
You're the best. Ho ho ho!
As you play through the 25 levels, you'll play out the storyline that you'll recognize from the movie. The one major problem that I really had with the game was there was just too many levels for the storyline. Sometimes you'd go a few levels without any real progression on the storyline. It wouldn't be so bad if the levels were well made, but they really aren't. They're just average. When you look at games like Kirby or Mario, you can see the care the publishers put into designing the levels. This kind of looks like they just put in a few obstacles to overcome, and then a few jumps later, it would be over. The game would have been better if they just cut out like 7 or 8 levels. Those extra levels were unimportant to the storyline, and they were just there to extend the gameplay. The levels themselves took about 2 to 3 minutes to beat. In order to finish a level, you'll need to collect magical snowflakes to the certain point they want you to. It differs in each level, but you can always see how many you need to collect on the left side. There is also usually a secondary mission on each of these levels, whether it be collecting letters for Kris, feeding the reindeer, or delivering presents to the kids. These are all optional missions, and in no way stop you from completing the level. Plus, there are stockings to find in every level, which will unlock a picture of a scene from the real movie in the extras. Now, there is no way to die in this game, so very younger kids won't get frustrated. If they complete all the levels, they'll unlock a Super Santa mode, which will make them super fast and invisible if they want to replay the levels. Now, the music in the game is actually really good. You'll hear all the songs that you might have heard in the TV show, like Santa Claus is Coming to Town, of course. And the other famous song, Put One Foot in Front of the Other. Yes, that's about the only time you're ever going to hear me sing. So if you want to mark your Wiiviewer notes, this is the one time where I sing in a review. Enjoy. There is a multiplayer aspect as well. You'll play as a character tagging along with Kris, and you can shoot snowballs and stuff like that. It really wasn't that great, but it'll give some other player who's watching something to do if they want to join in. There are too many games to play, and one of those games is really stretching the limits of what you would call a game. I'm sorry, I don't call waggling at the screen to make presents appear a game. The other minigame will have you twist and turn your Wiimote to make toys. The motion controls in this one work just fine, and young kids shouldn't have a problem playing this game. Santa Claus is Coming to Town was a great surprise from Red Wagon Games. After their disappointing treatment of the Rudolph license, I wasn't expecting much from this game. The creators did a really good job of replicating the source material. But like I said before, I think there were just too many levels to play, and they were just stretching out the levels too much. But the very professional voice acting and good-looking cutscenes, plus the ease of the levels for kids, I would say this would be a very fun rental for a very young child.
Enjoy your Wii, Thomas! Merry Christmas! Ho ho!